I swear to God, boy. I swear to God. Whenever, whenever I'm not coming through with the sound, that's always when I have the best rhymes. I this is ridiculous. I'm gonna start that shit all over again. But it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same, and I know that. I know that. Let me get it popping. All right. Get it popping like that. We good? Are we good, my peoples? Are we good? Are we nice? We nice? Are we coming through clear? I'm gonna play that shit over. We gonna do it over, son. We gonna do it over, son. So we gonna, I swear, I'm over here flowing. Y'all see, I'm all blah 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 blah, but it's all good. It's all good. We ain't gonna stop. We ain't gonna stop. Just got some crazy news, but everything's gonna be all right. It's the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752. I'm feeling like a real man should tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show on this Hump Day Wednesday, November 13th. We is talking about people who like animals more than people. Why do people like animals more than people? Well, we're gonna get into all that. We're gonna get into all of that, but let's do this. Let's do this sound over. Let me turn it up a little bit. We're going to do another skit. When I was coming through with the rhymes before, I was doing a little something to raise to the high score. But now you're coming through and now you can hear me. So we're going to do this thing. Hopefully you will cheer me. Hopefully, or we can get it going on and we can do this thing. Turn the thing up a little on and do it a little bit high. Expire. I'm not trying to do that. My last name is McIntyre and I'm fire. Yeah, I think I am coming through with the flames and I hope that you do the same. And yeah, I said your name. Yeah, you can say mine too. And I'm glad that all of y'all come through. We're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. We're going to teach a little something and get our minds right. Yo, I love the flow, love when the music's coming through my headphones. Yeah, and I be saying so. And then I'm going to say to you, I'm going to compliment you too and make sure that you always see you in another positive type of light. We gonna get kind of hype, get right tonight. And there's a lot of love coming through them speakers. We going through this thing. Got on my sneakers so we can run a little faster. Remember back in the day when you ran a little faster with your new kicks? And I'm not trying to do nothing sick, but I've got the sickest rhymes on time. Yeah, so what's the deal? What's the haps? What you trying to do? Oh, do you really got the raps? Do you talk a lot? Walk around a lot? Do a stalk a lot? Yo, don't be no nuisance and you sense that there's something else going on. Well, we're going to talk about that. Yo, my word is bond. You think it's not when it's kind of hot? The thing to blow out the snot to get rid of the phlegm. I'm doing it for him. All of y'all, yo, we going to stand tall and still ball. Yeah, I make the call, yo, dial the digits. If you're really down with the thing to be with it. So let's talk a little something. Yeah, I'm about a little nothing. What's up, y'all? It's the Daily Go Getimism Show. And let's get this popping. Now, for some reason, I can't find. Okay, there we go. I couldn't find my own show so I can get in the chat. So we are live and direct. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. We are talking about the reason that some people like animals more than they like people. The reason why some people like animals more than they like people. That's not to say that some people don't deal with people at all, but sometimes people get so frustrated with people they would rather just hang around with their pets and chill a little bit. You know what I mean? And even though animals can't talk, there are plenty of people who consider themselves to be whisperers, and they feel like they can understand exactly what animals are saying and what they're feeling, and they can connect with them on a communicative level. So we're gonna talk about it, get into it, get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we gonna solve, y'all. So what up, man? What the haps, man? What the deal is? Let me put the call-in number all up in the chat. Let me do that. Got a little disturbing news just before the show. Nothing bad, but it seems as though the service that I use for the phone call, so y'all can call in and spit your 2 cents, will be terminated at the end of January. So we only have until January to make it holler. This is disheartening to me because I have shows that I've been doing since 2008. I've been doing my own show since 2009, the beginning of the spring of 2009. And I also used to do a show with my dad every week. And so I'm going to have to download all of those shows because I don't want to lose that material. Now, my dad passed in 2021. So I need those shows. I need those. So, I mean, I can still hear my man's voice. You know what I mean? So that's what's going down with that. So I'm feeling a little some kind of way about that. But look, regardless, we are here and we're here to talk about this topic tonight. Why some people like animals more than they like people. You know what I mean? Do you know anybody like that? Have you ever felt like that yourself? DMX was one of those people. The late, great DMX, the rapper. You know, DMX, he always said that he liked dogs more than people because he could talk to dogs. Dogs were loyal. They were never moody. He understood exactly where they were coming from. The dogs seemed to understand him too. And he's not alone when it comes to that. What up, T. Carrie Wright? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Ant 777, what's good? And V says animals don't lie. V says animals don't lie. I'm not in the position to be disputing you, my dude. I'm not in the position to be disputing you. Pavan Kumar says, thanks for replying. That's what's up. He says, you're my insurance. I don't even know what to say. But if I'm your insurance, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now he says, you're my boss. Got nothing. But I'm glad y'all here. So yeah, let's talk about this tonight. What do y'all know? What do y'all know about appreciating the company of animals more than you appreciate the company of people? Do you have to be a crazy person, a dysfunctional person, a antisocial person to prefer living around animals more than being around people? It sounds like some really antisocial behavior. It almost sounds like some Tarzan shit. Remember, Tarzan was king of the jungle. Apes, lions, gorillas, I don't know, giraffes. There seemed to be a limitation of the animals that Tarzan was ruling over, but, you know, he was king of the jungle. King of the jungle. Not a lion, but Tarzan. But you might not be a modern day Tarzan, but you may have feelings of being able to relate to animals more than you may be able to relate to people sometimes. You know how it is. Listen, man, let me put y'all on to something. Human beings are the only species on this earth that we know of that have a written language, a spoken language, or a verbal language, and other forms of ways to speak to each other. Yet we have all kinds of miscommunication problems. Like, we understand the words that we are saying to each other, but we don't understand the reasons for the words coming out or the motivations behind them. And those things often get in the way. They often get in the way. And some people really don't like to deal with it. Some people really don't like to deal with the hassle, with the diversity of having to deal with people, You know, some people just don't like it. So they opt to be in more in seclusion with animals. Have you ever known anybody that had, like, I don't know, 3, 4 dogs, cats, you know, the cat ladies? You know, like, is there more to the cat ladies than we think of? Is it more to them than you know, just not having children? Because I've known cat ladies that had children, multiple children. They still loved a bunch of cats. They just had a thing for cats. There's something about cats. There's something about cats. There's something about dogs as far as domesticated pets. People seem to dig them a lot. So, what's the deal? My grandfather was absolutely a dog whisperer. I used to think it was kind of amazing. He had all of these untrained dogs. But he used to talk to these dogs like they were people. I used to just be sitting back looking like, and these untrained, like whenever you had a dog, a stray dog or a dog that you took in that maybe you couldn't train or you didn't want to deal with or whatever, give him to my granddad. Next thing you know, the dog is in line. I've never seen him formally train a dog. But each one of those, when we used to pull up, because he didn't live out in the country. He lived out in Chichester, Pennsylvania, in this area called Twin Oaks. It wasn't way out in the burbs. It wasn't out in the sticks. Right off of 95. Right off of I-95 South. Going towards Delaware. So he would call these dogs by name. And only the dog that he was talking to would respond. And the dogs all had regular names like Doris and Lucy and Greg and I don't know, Jeff. And I used to be like, I'm watching this shit. As a kid, 6, 7, 8 years old, I'm perplexed. I'm like, Granddad got it. He got it. We would pull up in my dad's Cadillac, the long ass Eldorado, 1977, 78, 79, because he got one every year. Dirt road. Woof, 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 woof. All the dogs surrounding the car. Woof, 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 arr, 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 woof, woof, woof. And here come my granddad, because they was like an alarm system for him. He out working in the garden like he works on his farm. It wasn't a farm. He just was good at farming. So he made a farm. A farm, not a garden. He made a farm. So my granddad would call the dogs off. He would call the dogs off so we could get out of the car. Because although the dogs were untrained, they weren't trained not to bite, not to be afraid, not to defend themselves, not to react. And they also weren't trained not to protect him. So they know him and we're coming on his property. And if they don't know us by our scent or whatever, they may guard him. So anyway, it was a sight to behold. So he would call them off. Jeff, Gary, Lucy. I remember Lucy specifically because he actually had a girlfriend named Lucy, and he named one of the dogs Lucy. So the Lucy who was his girlfriend was deaf. She didn't speak. Now, I don't know what kind of education my granddad had, but I know it wasn't anything above high school if it was that. And Lucy, who was deaf, wasn't his only girlfriend. So even though my granddad was a dog whisperer, he had a thing for pussy. I can't make this shit. I hadn't thought about this in a while. But yeah, why some people like animals over people or instead of people. Let me see. Andrew Mine says, I love animals. They make good lovers. Calm down, man. It's chill. Ant says, rest in peace, DMX. Without a doubt. Sticky Herb says, good morning, brother. Yo, man, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you. Thanks for coming through. TK Wright says, my pets are awesome and we're always happy to see me. But human interaction is prime when it's done correctly. True. All right, Andrew Man says, okay, wait. Ant 777 says, animals be loyal, but as a human, we won't understand their feelings unless they hungry or want to play. But that's why a lot of people like animals over people, because you know exactly what they want. They communicate what they want consistently every day. You know when they want to eat. You know when they want to go outside. You know when they want to play. You know when they're curious or whatever. Like they don't bullshit. They don't, you know, as humans, we may want one thing and act like we want another thing, hoping that we can get the one thing that we really wanted without asking for it. You understand what I'm saying? As human beings, we will ask for something else when we really want this. Like we really want this, but we're afraid to ask for this, or we don't think we will get this by asking for it. So we'll ask for this, hoping that somehow asking for this will somehow get us that. We take the long, it's a whole miscommunication thing. And that's why some people can't get into humans when they can get into cats, when they can get into dogs or even other animals. Like I don't understand people who are able to communicate with reptiles and amphibians and shit like that. But look, some people are good with snakes. Some people are good with snakes. Some people, I've known people who have had pet chickens and of course other birds, non-mammal animals, lizards, of course rodents like ferrets and hamsters, gerbils, rabbits. I don't know, you know. I mean, people will make a pet out of anything. That raccoons and whatever they can find. Of course, horses. Now they say that there's something about the communication between a man and a horse. Horses have very high developed brains, and so although most of their brain activity is tied to their physical activity, they say that they're able, like horses can be taught to count. I've seen this. They can be taught to count, like they're super intelligent. Sort of like Sagittarians, but without all the crazy shit. Because if you're a Sagittarius or you know some Sagittarius, you know, they off the fucking chain with the craziness. But it's all good. It's all love. It's all love, baby. It's all love, baby. All right. Let me see. Crazy Steve, what's good? Kim's Wims, what's good? Kimmy, what's going on, man? Good to see me some you all the time. And Emmy says animals are the best. I have no argument. And says, oh my God, Emmy, your hair looks amazing. You can see all that? All right. Look, Crazy Steve coming through with the bullshit. Crazy Steve is one of those reasons why people like animals over people. Like, look at this dumb shit. Son not alpha enough to own a dog. The dog would dominate him. First of all, dogs fucking love me. And I mean love. I'm not afraid of any animal. When I say I'm not afraid of any animal, I mean no animal. I respect their space. So I understand. I get it. But dogs don't bite me. I have turned guard dogs on my side because I got it like that. See, I'm smarter than you. And I don't normally, build myself as being smarter than other people, but I am. I'm smarter than you. I can tell. I'm way smarter than you too. I'm talking about exponentially. Like you this smart. And in a flea's world, because you're something like a flea, that's a lot because a flea's brain can't be this big. So you're like this smart. Me, I'm smart enough to fill up like every room in this house. I'm square mileage smart. You are flea smart. Hopping around, biting and sucking blood. That's you, Steve. Irritating people, hopping around, biting and sucking blood. Because see you, let me see. How shall I describe you? You a bitch ass nigga. But this is what we do. You know, you're a supporter of the show in some kind of way, and you're here consistently every night. So Emma says, narcissistic much? No, not narcissistic. That's an overly used word that's often used incorrectly. Do you know narcissistic? Do you know a narcissist is actually a person that's obsessed with their physical image? What you're probably thinking about is narcissistic personality disorder, but you can't just call that narcissism. A narcissistic person is somebody who's like in the mirror all the time. A narcissistic personality, a person who suffers or is diagnosed or shows traits of narcissistic personality disorder, is a person who is selfish and manipulative and all of those kinds of things. So, you know, just a little food for thought. Told you I was smart. See, I look up that kind of shit. Plus, I took a lot of psychology classes, you know, shit like that. Helps me to be able to communicate with animals. So, yeah. All right. So, let's see. All right. Emmy says, yes, because they are learning. Smart animals, dude. Let's see. TK Wright says, my animals always have human names. Yeah, I believe in human names for animals. All right. Okay. Crazy Steve says, homie has no idea how dogs operate. Yeah. Lucy is my dog's name. Well, how about that? You should have seen the woman, Lucy. Interesting. I had to be told that she was deaf. I didn't know. Ant says, no more politics here, John. Word. And he says, because people can be cruel. They can. They can. TK Wright says, yeah, he's in office. No need for this declaration. Wait a minute. Oh, you must have erased something, because I didn't know anybody was here talking about politics. All right. They must have got him up out of here. All right. Okay. Ant says, that's right, Emmy. My mom has a Chihuahua, and oh my God, that little one is her stress relief. Well, they say that dogs are definitely stress relief animals, because one thing a dog will never fail to do is make you feel wanted, make you feel special, make you feel needed. Every day, a dog, when you come home, your dog is happy as hell to see you. They jumping up on you. They want to lick your face. They wagging their tail. You know what I mean? They circling you, whatever you want to do, they down. You want to go play? Want to go for a walk? Want to throw a ball? Want me to fetch? Want to throw me the pool or in a river? Want me to swim? What you want to do? You want to go hurdle over some gates? Want me to chase a cat? Anything you want me to do, I'm down. It's hard to find that level of consistency of love, affection, and attention in a human being. It's hard. That consistency. There will be no days off with a dog. No days off. Cats are a little bit more moody. Dogs, not only are they consistent on a daily basis, but they're going to fill up the whole day with that. It's not going to be like, all right, we chilled all morning. All right, you can go about your business. Dog like, nah, I'm still here. What's up? You off today? Because we can do something. We can go to the park. Want to get in the car? I'm ready. Here, let me go get my leash. Like pretend this is a leash. They're like, what's up? What's up? You know it is. You know it is. Woof, woof, woof. You never have to wonder what they want. You never have to wonder where they're coming from. You don't ever have to wonder what they're thinking. unless you're trying to have a full-fledged conversation with them. And even then, sometimes you feel like, I think he gets it. I think she gets it. I think they get it. Shit. Either way, they wagging. They like, look, you saying something. I'm with it. Shy, what's up? And Shy says, I'm a Libra. That's what's up. Shout out to all the Libras. And he says, I hope you don't get an animal. Get an animal. You seem a bit harsh towards animal. And it gives me weird feelings about you. And I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know if you're talking to me. I don't know. Troy McNeil, my dude, what's good? How you feeling? Good to see me some you. And hello world. What up, hello world? Good to see you. No doubt. And WD says Guten Tag. Alice Clark. I got nothing. Hey, Steve, I live in his head rent free. How do you live in my head? How do you live in my head rent free, motherfucker? You're here. You're here. When you live rent free in somebody's head, you think about them when they're not around. You're here. Look, it says right here, Crazy Steve. You wrote, I live in his head rent free. You wrote, chat locked him. You're here. Look, I got proof. Everybody can see it. Emmy, I know what I'm talking about. I don't know what your beef is, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care. You know what I mean? Let me see. All right, no, I'm gonna do this for you, Emmy. So because the internet got people using terms that they don't know the meaning of, and so we just start using this shit, and shit gets out of hand. All right, let's do this. The difference between narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder. Okay, narcissism versus narcissistic personality disorder. Narcissism is a trait, while narcissistic personality disorder is a pervasive pattern of behaviors that impacts all areas of life and functioning. It is possible to have narcissistic traits and not meet criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. So let's go into it. Okay. All right. Okay, narcissism. Okay. All right. What is important to note about diagnosis of the manual used for clinicians for diagnosis, DSM-5 TRs? Okay, wait a minute. This is going a little too deep. Let's keep it easy. All right. Here's the traits for criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. A pervasive pattern of grandiosity in fantasy or behavior, need for admiration and lack of empathy, beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts, as indicated by 5 or more of the following. Has a grandiose sense of self-importance, exaggerates achievements and talents, expects to be recognized as superior without commensurate achievements, is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love, believes that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with other special or high status people or institutions, requires excessive admiration, has a sense of entitlement, Examples: unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance with his or her expectations. Is interpersonally exploitive, takes advantage of others to achieve his or own ends. I mean, it goes all the way up to 9. Okay, lacks empathy or is unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings or needs of others. Is often envious of others or believes that others are envious of him or her. Shows arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. That's narcissistic personality disorder. So when you start talking about narcissism, you're not talking about the same thing as narcissistic personality disorder. So let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Like a narcissist, they say they can feel regret, remorse, and sadness. These emotions, however, don't often have roots in empathy. Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So a narcissist is an extremely self-centered person who has an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Okay. A person who is overly concerned with his or her physical appearance. Well, I hope I helped. I don't know. I don't know. One thing is for sure. Well, since we're talking about people who like animals more than people, one thing you never have to worry about with an animal is them being narcissistic or having narcissistic personality disorder. You know, it's funny because we may see, we human beings, we see the beauty in animals, but animals don't care about beauty within themselves. And I was having this discussion with my baby sister years ago. I was like, if you notice, animals, like human beings, we go on sight. We decide our concept of beauty is dependent upon the way that a person looks. Like, you know, I mean, whether we get it in our own way, which is rare, or we get it from other people's preconceived notions and conditions of what's supposed to be pretty, handsome, beautiful, good looking. Animals go by smell. You don't see dogs seeing other dogs and being like, yo, that dog is beautiful. They do it by smell. That's why they never get it wrong. Now, does their smell, their sense of smell, equate to beauty? If you really think about it, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because bloodhounds are trained, or dogs, including bloodhounds, can be trained to find things, to identify things based on smell. So it's like, I don't think you're telling the dog, find the most prettiest or good looking criminal. We need to find this pretty or good looking missing person. So with that so I was having this discussion with my baby sister years ago, and she said, what about peacocks? Peacocks spread their wings and they show their beauty. They show their beauty in order to attract other peacocks. I said, oh. Listen, I appreciate, Troy and y'all. I appreciate y'all, defending me. But I mean, she don't know me like you ain't got. Let her think what she want to think. I mean, she ain't building nothing. Ain't tearing nothing down. And I'm not even trying to be rude, but I mean, she's getting more attention than she deserves. Like this camera ain't turning around on her. The microphone is not going. You know what? Tell you what. We have the phone number up there. If she wants to express the way she feels, I invite her to call in. 319-527-6. Y'all know how I settle differences. Let's talk it out. 319-527-6199. Call the number. Express yourself. You know, you got beef? We can talk it out. You have a problem with me? We can talk it out. I'm reasonable and rational. You don't believe me? Call and find out. But other than that, I'm like, y'all ain't gotta defend me to her. Like, who the fuck is this chick? I mean, for real. Who is she? I don't, some things are worth the effort and some things aren't. But like I was saying, so my big sis was saying, what about peacocks? They show their feathers in order to attract the other birds. And I said, well, how do you know that the way that they spread their wings is symbolizing beauty? How do you know it's beauty that the other birds are being attracted to? Because if you look at the feathers on the, first of all, only the male peacock has those big, beautiful feathers. Only the male peacock does that. So how do we know that in the peacock's mind, if you look at the feathers on a peacock, you see all kinds of designs and patterns, and they may mean something to the peacock that we aren't privy to. We may never know what makes a peacock be attracted to another peacock, or should we say, what makes a female peacock attracted to the male peacock? What makes them what because we don't have it the other way around. The female doesn't spread her wings in order to attract the male peacock. It only works one way. So in our limited understanding, we think that it's because of beauty. Well, I beg to differ. I just don't know if that's what we're working with. But in the animal kingdom, they deal with consistency. So yes, the male peacock spreads his big, beautiful wings. Beautiful to us human beings because we base most things on looks. But it may mean something else to the peacock. Because the peacock can't tell you like, yo, I'm trying to tell you, man. I mean, my man P over here got the most beautiful wings I ever saw. He be getting all the peacock bitches. Like he just got it going on. I see that we do have a caller on the line. So we're gonna take the caller right now. Oh, we have two callers. We have a caller with the last number 1303. We're gonna take that caller, and then caller with the last number is 1132. All right. Caller with the last number is 1303. Welcome to the Daily Go Getivism Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind tonight? Hold on. The line not opening up yet. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Hold on. Okay, there we go. I think we good. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. What's good?
Hey, good evening, son. Love the show, man.
Appreciate that.
Oh, hell. my subject was on the tip of my tongue, and I just, gosh darn it. So, what's on the top of your mind tonight?
We're talking about the reason that some people like animals more than they like people. That's what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah. I got two huskies. Yeah, they're right next to me. They're just absolute sweethearts. Like, to a fault, actually. Like, big boy licking my face right now. Is like one time they cornered a fucking groundhog in the garden shed, And, you know, my dog just saunters up like nothing, no big deal. It's like, get the fuck away from that thing. Ooh, pardon my language. Yeah, I don't know what you mean about dog loyalty. Like, they're, yeah.
All right, cool.
Sorry, I've got some booze on my breath, so.
Yeah, I kind of sense there was a little something going on, you know, little something. But I ain't mad at you. So, you know, so do you consider your dogs to be your best friends? Do you value your relationships with your dogs more than you do with people? Have you ever had any problems dealing with people?
Oh, of course, I had problems dealing with people. I've never had to give up a pet. I never cut off a pet. like every dog I've had has been loyal to the end, and you know they're my best friends. And, but you know, there's sometimes that relationships go sour with people, where it's you have to give up that relationship, or it's gonna ruin your life.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you're like, human beings are the only species on this earth that I know of that have a written language, have a verbal language. We have all of these ways to be able to communicate, yet we still have problems with communication. We still have a lot of miscommunication. So we say things and people say that they thought that we meant something else other than what we said. You know, like it gets a little crazy. And, you know, with animals, a lot of people prefer to deal with animals because there's never any miscommunication issues. Animals are conditioned you can train them and condition them to do exactly what you need them to do, as far as like housebreaking them, teaching them tricks and things like that. And they consistently follow the letter of whatever you have taught them to do. They don't waver. There's no problems with moodiness. They don't have to, you know, there are no good days and bad days. Every day is going to be the same thing, because that's all they know. They know what you show them when you domesticate them. So out in the wild, they do what's necessary based on their instincts out in the wild. When you domesticate them, they do what you show them every day. So, you know.
Yeah, like.
So a lot of people find that easier to deal with.
You should do a video call service like you would love them. They're so pretty and they're so happy. Like,
well, because
anyway, I guess that's all I had to add. Unless you have any questions for me.
All right, cool. All right, man. But thanks for calling in.
All right, love you, dog.
All right, man. Take care. Have a good one.
You as well.
All right.
All right, take care. Have a good one.
I like that man as much as I do a dog. I don't care what y'all say. We have another call on the line. Caller with the last numbers 1132. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind? Thank you for holding. What's good?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
All right, that's what's up.
I love cats. They told so many lies about cats, and I found out the lies they told was not true about cats, and I'm trying my best not to like animals better than I do people. I'm trying not to get that way, but the animal kingdom look like they winning.
Okay.
Yeah, because people are something else. I'm trying to trust, and it's really heartbreaking. And it's not me, and I'm not selfish. I'm not a narcissist, whatever you call that word. I'm not none of that. I'm glad that you read definition. I done learned a lot on the show by tuning in, and I know God is taking me on another path. It seems like He's elevating me, and my time and stuff is. I'm not catching you like I normally do, but I'm learning a lot. But I had dogs and I had cats, but I like cats better than I do dogs.
All right. What are some misconceptions that you heard about cats? What are some things that you heard people say about cats that you found not to be true?
Well, they say cats be all on your furniture and scratching. I went and bought all these things for my cat, so she went. Well, at first I thought I had a girl, but I found out I had a boy. So he would be scratching up my stuff and be all on my counter. My cat did not do like that. He didn't do none of that stuff. I mean, I had so many people hating on me when I got my cat. They had to learn to get used to me when I had my cat. But my cat was not bad at all, what they were saying. He was a really good cat. But he knew that, it seemed like he knew when the weekend came, because when the weekend came, he stayed in the bedroom. He didn't come out. I guess that was his time out.
Okay.
He didn't come out. And I miss my cat because when I was sad, he could tell when I was sad, when I was going through. My cat was my stress reliever of this life.
Okay.
He knew my mood swings.
Okay.
So, yeah, when I, was going through, he could tell. And then I get out of whatever I was going through, And I felt relief because, like I said, I didn't have no children. My cat was my, my little fur baby. So, mine was a little different. So, but I didn't go far like buying clothes and all that stuff. We wasn't doing that.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm trying not to. People are so not trustworthy, and I done got hurt so many times. And it ain't that I put myself in harm's way. Sometimes they come trolling and fucking with you and all that other crap, like stuff in that doggone check. Some of that stuff don't even be necessary. You don't even have to come to the doggone page. You don't have to look at my life. You the one is, like you say, being rent free because you the one looking. We not looking at your stuff. You looking at our stuff. So it's like I'm trying not to get that way. God has built me to be, a cat lover or a dog lover, and I can't afford that because they get pretty pricey and expensive. If you really want to have the animal, they could be just as much as a human being. You got to have the money for that. But I'm trying not to be that way. Trying not to be antisocial or whatnot. That's why I called in, but it's not me. It's definitely not me. People get jealous and you gotta walk your own journey. You can't walk somebody else's journey. Now, if you want something that somebody else got, if God did it for that person, He could do it for you too. It might not be in the same way, but He can do it for you too. But you don't know what that person did to get what they got. You don't know what that person lost. I lost a lot to get where I'm at, where I am. I lost a lot.
Okay.
And when I got they was jealous of my little cat. I was like, and my cat acts like a dog because somebody was trying to come in my apartment and he charged up to that doggone door. I was like, they lied about cats. They lied, and they told a lot of lies on cats. I'm thinking about getting me a black cat.
Well,
they might have lied about that too.
Well, I had a black cat for 19 years. I love that cat to death. That was a great cat. But they say that an animal that you take on as a pet, especially dogs or cat, cats, they take on your personality. So like if you're an aggressive person, more than likely your pet will be that way. If you're a calm person, your cat will be your cat or your dog will be that way. And it makes sense because that's the way you'll treat them. You know, they'll feed off of your energy, and many times, most of the times, you know, because animals can't talk to you verbally, they have to feed off of, they have to find another way to communicate with you, just like you have to find another way to communicate with them. So they can feed off your energy. Like they can tell when you're happy, when you're angry, when you're sad. They understand emotions. They can feel that. But they also can feed off of your confidence or your lack thereof. I've heard that horses really react a certain type of way when they know that the horse rider is unconfident or is in a dangerous position. Like the horse will actually encourage you to get on them and get on up out of there. Like they can sense the danger, and they can sense that you're not in control of the situation, and so they'll get on up out of there. So you know they have a certain amount of intelligence. Now, a lot of people may not look at a horse as a pet, but I mean it is. I mean just because we're able to use horses as tools or as, you know, for jobs and for also like gambling, sports, and all of that kind of stuff, it doesn't diminish the fact that it can be a pet. But is what would you say is the single most attractive feature about animals that you don't find in human beings that will attract you to an animal more than a human being? What would you say that is for you?
Well, like I said, my cat can always tell when I'm sad. And that to me, I love that about a pet, you know, because sometimes your man or your woman probably don't know when you're going through. They supposed to pick up on certain things about you, but most of the time your pet will pick up on that quicker than they will. So that's what I like when they could tell when you need them. You know, when you're going through and you're having a bad day and you're going through. And I've been without my cat for too long, you know. I just ain't, it takes time. You know, I've been praying about it. And I just ain't felt the urge to go and, you know, look for no cat, you know, right away. But, you know, a cat will pick up on senses, you know, than people. And that's what I find attractive about a cat, because they know when you're hurting. They know when you're happy, you know. Sometimes human beings don't know. They have to study you, you know, and sometimes they don't even act on it either. Even a friend, you know. You be upset and you call your friend. Sometimes they ain't got time for you, you know. So cats always, you know, have time for you. So that's what I like about a cat. You know,
cool.
They have that kind of trait.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I like about a cat is a dog. The difference between a cat and a dog. The cat gonna make you earn loyalty. They not gonna come up on you and be around you, but you gotta earn that. And I like that because it's different. And you know, and my cat, he attached to me, but he didn't attach to me real quickly. I had to earn his loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
I had to earn that from him. You know, a dog, you can get it right away. A cat, not so. Not all cats. And all cats are not alike.
That's true.
All cats are not alike.
No, so all animals, period.
Yes, I don't want to get a monster in here.
Mm-hmm. Well, animals of any species are not the same. They all have a different personality, which makes sense. I mean, just like all human beings have a different personality. And sometimes people who don't understand animals get upset that one animal, let's say you have let's say you have a dog and something happens to the dog, or a cat and something happens to the cat, and you think you can go out and buy that same breed of dog or cat, and you expect it to do the same thing or act the same way that the dog that you have previously did, and you're gonna get your feelings hurt if that's the case, because it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, before I got my cat, I did a lot of studying on it. I went on YouTube. I found a lot of videos because I wanted to know the language. I wanted to, know the language, because your cat do speak to you. You just gotta study different, videos on cats and how they is and everything, because they do talk to you or whatnot. And I just found out everything I needed to know about, because I had never had a cat. I always had a dog growing up. I never had a cat growing up. So I went and did all that studying and everything, and these haters around here, had me buying all this, just spending my money. And my cat never did none of that, that they was talking about. Never scratched up my, I kept I'm a clean person anyway, but one thing about it is when I had cats, I had to really keep my apartment up to par. I did extra cleaning, but that was all right with me because I had my little apartment and it kept me focused. I ain't go around the streets looking, you don't have to look for no companion. You got the little companion right there, So it's like he just kept me rooted and grounded. And I was like, I felt like, even though I had no children or nothing like that, I felt like I was complete.
Mm-hmm.
That made me complete. And my cat made me complete. That's why I said my situation is very unique and different from other people's situations, And I felt like my cat made me complete. And because when I turned a particular age, I was like, well, I ain't got to worry about, if he coming or not. So, and then God sent me my cat, and I knew I was, I was complete. And some people say God called you home when he's through with you. Evidently, he's not through with me yet because I'm still here, But I did my will, I did the will for God. So I had my cat, I didn't have no children, but I had my cat.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't crazy, I don't think they crazy. It's just like, it's how people treat you. And I think that's why they go towards animals. They get tired of being hurt and disappointed and, betrayed. I ain't got betrayed. And I thought about what you said the other day, which makes sense to me. You could put yourself on harm's way, but I don't put myself on harm's way for people to act like they act towards me.
Yeah, I hear you.
I learned the hard way not to tell all my business. That's what I don't do, But people gonna be people, and they're gonna go off on you or flip on you. You just have to be prepared for it. Cause God, that be God. Sometimes God be showing you and revealing people. If you choose to be around those people after He done showed you what He is, that's on you. So, but I don't want to have a whole lot of cats and animals and disconnect from the world because I can't deal with, people. I have to deal with animals instead of people. I don't want to be that kind of person. That's not me.
I could dig it. I mean, yeah, some people go overboard with the pets to the point where you go in some of these houses and it smells like total dog or cat and shit, and they've gone nose blind. They can't even smell that shit. So I mean, but I can understand how some people would get frustrated with people to the point where they rather not deal with them for a while. But I don't think it's that much different. I don't think it's that much different than when some people get frustrated with people in like relationships and stuff like that. You know how some people, I've heard women say that, they're going to go celibate for a while because, they become pissed off with relationships sometimes. And so they've decided that they just going to, put the cookie away for a little while. But that's a way of taking a break for yourself. And sometimes sometimes that's what's needed for some people. Sometimes it's needed for them to just take a break for relationships, friendships. Sometimes people do it from their family. Like they need some time away from the people who are giving them the most grief, the most sorrow, the most frustration, the most pain, the most hurt, the most negativity, the most bad feelings. Sometimes you just gotta let them go for a while. And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering
Yeah.
if you can relate wanting to just be around animals instead of people to the same thing. You know?
I don't know. I don't know that ain't never been my story. I just wanted to tell because you can't. I don't care what nobody say. I don't think nobody should be alone. I don't think, and I think the opposite attract. People don't want to. And I think people know it. That's why they interfere. They know that a man or woman makes you happy. You know, they want to say you make your own self happy. No, that ain't the case all the time. You know, or they say money don't make you happy. You know, sometimes another human being makes you happy because you not there by yourself. You know, and people want to come in and interfere, and you have to be strong enough and be able to discern that's what's going on. Because some men be thinking it's all about them, and I be like, it's not about you. It's about what we have, and that's what they don't want us to have. It's not about the men in particular. You know, you have to be a strong man, not just at the top, but at the bottom too. You know, and you know, that could be disheartening, and that's why people go. I'm not trying to get off the subject or anything, but that's why they go get pets because they don't want to deal with situations because how things come down, how people ain't right. People is not right, you know.
Well, there can be other reasons too, like loneliness. You know, one thing that pets provide for people is company. You know,
And that's and you see, like
companionship.
I said, I'm the only one. Yeah, and I know for me, my cat was big company.
Mm-hmm.
A big company, and one thing, I'm not a selfish person. They always say when you're the only child that you're the selfish. My mama didn't raise me to be selfish because one, I had my cousin and he was like my brother, so we had to share. So I've never been selfish. But when my cat was here, first thing I didn't have my place to myself because I had to go check on my cat and get things straight with him. I couldn't go grab my cup of Joe first thing. I had to see what was going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that was me, sharing my life with my cat, it wasn't no longer about me no more,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked it that was a good feeling. So I can imagine how I would be if I was a mother, but that didn't happen for me. And I'm kind of glad because kids are not like how we were when we grew up. So I don't have I don't regret it. I'm not mad because it didn't happen. It's a reason for the way God worked in my life the way he did, So
yeah,
my partner might be mad at that, but he shouldn't even be mad at that. He should be glad that I got the best life. And I feel that I have the best life. But however, I am missing. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to get another cat because your cat is always with you, whether you got him or not. My cat did not die. Unfortunately, my cat was taken away from me when I had my accident.
Okay.
So, and I can still, I always have my cat. When I'm going through, God will show me a picture of him, and I snap up out of it. That's why they say cats mark you. There's a reason why cats mark you as their own. So I'm thinking about getting another one. Like I said, if I get another one, I might just do it for the hell of it and get a black cat just to be, to be that BITCH because they told a lot of lies on cats. Just to be mean about it because, a lot of people try to tell me what I can't do. If God told me I could do something, I'm going to do what he tell me I could do. You can't tell me not to do this and not to do that, or tell me to do this. I'm up here buying stuff. My cat was not a wild cat at all.
Right.
I didn't even let my cat in the kitchen. Only thing to go was the hall. He didn't even go in my kitchen.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you feel like when you talked to your cat, do you feel like he understood?
He understood everything I was saying to him.
And what made you think that?
I would call his name. Yeah, he understood. I called his name and he'd come.
Did you ever talk to him about anything else?
Huh?
Did you ever talk to him about anything else? Like things that didn't have anything to do with him? Like you ever complain about somebody to your cat?
No, he know when I used to watch your program, he knew your voice. He knew what time it was.
Okay.
So when I come in, I turn the TV on. I knew what he knew about that. And then at a certain time, he could tell when I get ready to go in the back, like between 9:30 and 10. For some reason, I don't be in my living room. I come to the back, and he knew, it's time for her to go to bed. It's time for her to go to bed. So we was out of eye on certain things, certain TV programs. He knew. Right, and them if you put one of those movies on for cats, like cartoons and cat programs, they be knowing. Especially if they young cat. I had a young cat. My cat was 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have no old cat. I had a young one. I'm thinking about getting a kitty though, and train them on up. So that's what I'm thinking about next time. But this time I might not expose him to the. I think where I probably messed up at, I might not expose him unless God tell me to expose him to the internet.
Okay.
When I do give them, only certain people know I have them, but other than that, I don't think I'm gonna do that this time. I'm learning how. My mother used to always tell me, keep your blessings to yourself. Don't tell everybody, because everybody ain't happy for you. And you don't know what they be doing out here. I don't believe that nobody can make anything happen or your blessings go away or nothing like that. But I don't know. I've been having a lot of good stuff happen as well as bad stuff. But I'm hoping that the bad stuff don't outweigh the good stuff that happened to me, because I try to walk in God's divine, will, and I'm having a lot of things happen to me,
Yeah.
by doing that. And I don't want to question the Lord, but my pastor said if I have to, you can. You can, and I'm trying not to get there. I'm trying to just believe by faith. But you're not supposed to question God on what's going on, but that ain't what my pastor said, so.
Okay. All right.
I love animals. Continue to love animals. Don't have too many little animals up in there.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. Well, look, let me go to the next call. I appreciate you calling in.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We have caller with the last numbers 7797 on. I know who that is, so I'm going to click him in, and then I'm going to take caller with the last numbers 4057. So basically, I'm going to open your lines up at the same time. So caller with the last numbers 4057, your line is open, and caller with the last number 7797, your line is open. What's up with y'all? How y'all feeling tonight?
What's going on, good brother?
Man, I'm feeling like a real man should. You already know. What's up with you?
Yeah, I can't complain, man. I can't complain at all. Did the other caller get on?
The line is open. Caller with the last number is 4057. Are you there? Are you there? Are you in the house? Well, anyway, so we're talking about why some people like animals more than they like people. What are your thoughts on that? What you got?
My thoughts about it is that, you know, a good pet is more loyal, can be more loyal than a person. You know what I mean? The loyalty that you can get from a pet, you can't really get from a human. You know what I mean? If you treat your pet good, or if your pet is well taken care of, they'll treat you even better. But if you do that to a human, they'll find a way to find more miscues with you. So I would rather, I think a pet is more, I think I can deal with a pet more than a human being.
You think so?
I mean, I can tolerate a human being, but I can deal better with a pet.
Okay. Now tell me why you feel that way.
Well, considering how society is right now, it's wicked as shit. You know, and that wickedness, you don't see that within a pet unless you startle it or you do something wrong to that pet. You know, I'm more preferable to a cat than a dog because I just don't like dogs. A small dog, yeah, but big dog, I just don't like big shit. My grandmother, when I was a kid, had me cleaning up her dog poop all the time, and it was the nastiest thing I had to do in my life, bro. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm more subjected to a small dog, but cats, the loyalty of a cat, you know, is more, I can deal with cats. And earlier you said that you're not scared of no animals.
No, well, I'm not.
I have a condition called bitch assness. So I'm scared of a lot of animals.
Well, see, so, the thing about it is,
you know, if I walk out the door, because when you live in the city, you might see a rat. Mm-hmm. And yes, I'm a bitch. I'll run from a rat. But when you live in the county, you see red foxes, you see possums, you see skunks, you see fucking raccoons, you see deer, and all of a sudden, and plus, where I live at, the back of my yard is part of the fucking John Hines refuge. Mm-hmm. So that alone should tell you the shit that's in the yard.
Wait, are you in Montgomery County, Bucks County, or Delaware?
Full Cross.
All right, so you in Delaware County. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Right.
All right.
So the whole thing about it is that when I tell my wife, when I tell my kids, the nighttime belongs to the nighttime. So if she asks me to go in the backyard and get her cell phone, your cell phone just gonna be in the backyard for the rest of the night. So I'm not gonna get your cell phone. That's not gonna happen.
Well, see, here's what
I'll go in the front of the house, but not in that back of the house.
The reason why I'm not afraid of animals is because I understand their habitat, and I understand their boundaries that they set. When they say that animals are more afraid of you than you are them, it's true, because you don't understand that when you come to where they are, you're invading their space. They are aware of all the other threats in that area. You know, wolves, foxes, whatever. You know what I mean? But a human being is different because humans kill all animals. They prey on all animals. You know what I'm saying? And even though an animal can't express that, they know that a human being doesn't belong in the forest or in the jungle or wherever that animal is. So they really are afraid. And if you look at the way that they act, they will only attack you if they have no other option. Like, you know, human beings try to trap animals, you know what I mean? Trying to talk to them. Hey, buddy. Hey, easy guy. Like, no, you don't understand that shit you talking about. You gonna fuck around, get your head smacked off by this bear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the reason that I'm not afraid of any animals is because I respect their space. I'm not going to go where they are acting like just because I have a mild voice that they're going to respond to that shit. They don't understand no mild voice. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand that language. You probably do better off grunting at me. You know what I mean? But so So no, I don't fear other animals. That doesn't mean that I go around trying to make friends with every animal. But I don't have like bad dreams of any other animal coming to get me or anything like that. I don't worry about that kind of shit.
No, I don't worry about the dreams, but I know the cat that me and my wife got. You know, when the lady was talking about God, I think spirits can get into animals. When the spirit passed away, sometimes it can get into an animal. And our cat has like, cause my wife's aunt was staying with us, and when she passed away, our cat just started acting differently.
Mm-hmm.
And when me and my wife get to an argument, our cat would jump on the sofa and stand next to her and hit her on her shoulder as to tell her be quiet and stop the arguing. And I'm looking at this cat like, what the fuck? When she in the bedroom, when she want to get in the bedroom, she'll come and scratch at the door. And when she want to get out, she'll come and scratch at the door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which all day she might not be around me the whole day. But when my wife come home, she run right to my wife and just sit and lay next to her. You know, so I mean, I think that there's, I think a pet can take on another person's spirit. You know, I mean, I think pets are more loyal than individuals. You know, a pet becomes loyal to you, and you can't take that loyalty away from that pet. But a person can be loyal to you and allow another person to infiltrate their mind space, and that loyalty will go out the window, or then there's problems and issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I just feel that way about, humans are subjected to being right now is very, very wicked. Society is wicked. You know, people don't know how to talk to people the right way. You know, it's just so much shit going on in the world that I can't see. I would rather deal with a pet I can tolerate a human, but I would rather deal with a pet.
I mean, I you know what? I get it. I do. I do get it. The thing is, the same way that you have to take time out to train an animal, to condition an animal, to get them on a consistent path, sometimes with human beings, you have to do the same thing. The thing is, we have this.
No, I'm getting ready to cut you off, my brother. We can sit there and try to train. There's no training adults. You know, we can sit back and at one point become at one accord. But the difference is that no matter what you do for certain people, they're always going to find a problem. Some people life is very problematic. They want to create their own problems, even if things is perfect. Whether it's a woman, whether it's a man, whether even one of your kids, everything can be perfect with them, and they'll find a problem. You look nice today. Your sneaks look nice. Or my eye hurt. Or let me put some eye drop in it. Or I got a cold. Or let me give you some medicine. Or like I brush my hair is messed up. They'll find something. It's just human instinct of creating something. They might not find it at that time, but they will find it. But a cat, go in there, they eat, they meow when they're hungry, they go in the basement, they go to their litter box that they don't have to clean. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If they sick, I just took my white cat to the hospital. Let them take care of him, brought him home. Everything is moving along somewhat, but listen, it's different with humans. You know, and maybe you can train your kids to grow up to be different. But when you're in a relationship, you know, there is no training of an adult, because some adults just don't think about Not so much of just the loyalty part. They just don't think about wanting to grow into something different. Instead of just being the same, being the norm, you wanna be something different on a regular. You know, some women listen to Bobby Womack. You know, if you listen to Bobby Womack, he'll tell you always complains about the things she ain't got and the things her girlfriend's got. And then when you take that out of the equation, there's more problems. Pets don't do that.
So hold on. Let me make sure. Let me get this straight. You don't think human beings can be trained?
I don't think that adults can be trained.
Why not? I mean, because
I think that when you, I'm not talking about a job. At a job, you have to be trained to do your job.
I'm not talking about
but
that
in
either.
In a relationship, I don't think that you can train a man or woman to do anything. You can suggest, you can make a suggestion for the betterment of the relationship, and you can change for the betterment of the relationship. But regardless of anything, that's not training. And yet and still, there's still going to be problems within a relationship. And let's even take away the relationships. You know, even with the divide in the country, who wants to deal with that bullshit? Well, you can. I would rather deal with a cat as the president.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you're dealing with children, you're training them to what you want. You're training them based on what you want them to do. When it comes to training adults, you have to train them based on what they want.
Now I want you to do me a favor. Elaborate more on what and explain that to me.
Okay. So when you have children or when you're dealing with children, you're teaching. No,
not the children.
Hold on. I'm starting from the beginning. When you're dealing with children, you are training them to avoid danger, to be disciplined, to be obedient. Basically, you're showing them what's necessary for them what they need to do in order to get along with people, in order to keep themselves safe and stay out of trouble. When you're dealing with adults, you have to go toward what that adult wants already. So whatever they have learned, whatever they have gravitated towards, and whatever they are attracted to, that's what you're going to train them towards. See, a lot of times we find it hard to train adults because we're still training them to what we want instead of what they want. So when you find out what a person wants, it's not that hard to train them. It's not that hard to condition them. It's not that hard to motivate them. But a lot of times we're not concentrating on what they want. We're concentrating on what we want. So we want to train. Let's say you want your woman to cook, and you want her to clean, and you want her to have sex. You are trying to get her to do the things that you want. Maybe if you concentrate on what she wants, and you can find out by asking her, like, well, what do you like? What makes you happy? What makes you feel comfortable? What makes you feel confident? She may not open up to you immediately, or if you're a woman dealing with a man, because it's the same shit. But once the trust comes in and you start to learn what they like, then that trust turns towards you, and then they can be more open to giving you what you want because you have given them what they want. Now, I understand that we're human beings because we're so inconsistent. Sometimes our mood can get in the way of our consistency. The day of the week can get in the way of our consistency. Our zodiac sign, the position of the moon, the sun, moon, and stars can get in the way of our consistency. But the things that we want are pretty consistent. So I know for a fact that you can train adults, but you have to find out what they want. It's always easy to deal with people when you find out what they want, especially if you can provide it.
Now I'm gonna elaborate. I'm sorry for cutting you off. But let me elaborate on that part right there. You know, when you sit back and let's take the word training out of it, because I know some people are
no, we ain't doing that shit. We training. Fuck all that.
All right, well, training.
I know what you saying. We not doing that. See, this is, and you know why I don't want to take the word training out of it, because that's what we do. We want to make the words fit everything instead of making people understand the word and use it correctly. We want to, go, well, okay, if you say training, then it will, nah, fuck all that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to understand what it means. Everybody gets trained. Well, but go ahead.
My thing is this, right? Even from what I've been through, when you're training a child to do something, you're training them as they grow up, they know right from wrong and what they can do for the betterment of their growing up. But what you're talking about is the beginning of a relationship. Because at the beginning of a relationship, that's a good thing to do. But then you also have to have an understanding that as the years go by, depending on how long you're in that relationship, that person changes. So what they needed, what they wanted 10 years ago might be what they need, would not be what they want in the next 10 years. And so now you got to ask them what they want to get. But in those years, they develop friendships and they talk to family members and they do all that. So with all that involved with that, it creates more issues and problems, because that training that you're trying to do for that person is muddy water because of other insights or other things that person sees or other things that person hears. You understand what I'm saying? So it changes the training process. Instead of sticking on the straight and narrow and going with that training process, that you absolutely right. You got to ask the person what they want. But then when you give them what they want, then they want what they need. And then when you give them what they need, then they go around and they switch they want. And then all of a sudden, your head is just going crazy. You like, I gave you what you want. I gave you what you need. Now you want some new wants. Now you want some new needs. Give me a fucking cat.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying. But
I understand, and I agree with what you're saying. Don't get it twisted.
No,
I'm just going by.
But
I'm going by the human concept of how human beings, even with men.
Mm-hmm.
Even with men, I'm not just putting this on women, but my observation is with women, because that's relationships. Now, when you're talking about men, it's the same thing with fucking men. You don't ask them what they want and need, but you know the bullshit that men do. Yo, let me borrow this. Then when you go to ask them back, yo, you gonna ask me for that bloody 20? What?
Well, see, here's the thing about it. In order to train a person, you also have to train yourself. So if you're looking for a person if you're looking for consistency in a person, you're gonna have to be consistent in your own ways. So once you understand that, because humans can adapt to certain things, they can learn new things, they can explore, they can expand. You have to also keep up with that, with those things yourself. So you have to be able to keep up with what they've learned, you know, how they're changing, how they're developing, how they're evolving, and what new things come after that. One thing is for sure: when a person wants to be with you, they will show you, and they will do things in order for that to happen. Now, that doesn't always happen the way that we want it to happen, but if you can tap into consistently finding out what they want, you don't necessarily always have to provide what they want, but when you can find it out, then you can go about being able to navigate your situations a little bit better. So, but I definitely believe that not only do I believe that people can be trained, I believe that they can be brainwashed.
We know that part.
Well, you know, but it's not as simple as it sounds. I believe in positive. I believe in positive brainwashing, just like the negative brainwashing. Like a lot of times we try to make things only be one way. Oh, you brainwashing them, you know, telling them all of these bad things to do or misleading them. It's not always that way. Parents brainwash their kids. Parents brainwash their kids all the time. Lovers brainwash their lovers all the time because they are able to tap in and identify the things that they want, and they know. When you know what motivates a person, then you can get them on your side and get them to do certain things because you found that button that makes them go. So with animals, of course, it's easier because you're not dealing with a person or a being that's gonna learn on their own, like a dog or a cat or a turtle or a hamster or a ferret or a horse. They're not going to pick up a book and read. They're not going to look up definitions on the internet or anything like that. So they only have to deal with the limits of whatever you teach them. So for some people, they're comfortable with things being limited. All right, cool. You can find other people that are just as limited. So you know how, even though we're talking about how come some people choose animals over people or like animals more than they like people, when you start to understand what's going on with a person that way, you understand why unfortunately why some old heads like to talk to younger people. You understand why some men, some alpha men or whatever, like to deal with women who aren't as strong or as strong-willed, or you know, or even some women who like to deal with men who don't have a lot of education, don't have a lot of things going on for themselves, because it sets an easy limit for them to deal with, just like you would an animal. And even though that sounds disrespectful, this is what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is what we're dealing with.
Also, when you think about it, when you talk about teaching, you also have to go back to a person's teaching through the upbringing. Mm. Because, I mean, let's just go to the female way. If your teaching was from your mother, and you learned things from your mother, and some of the things was negative, there's no way you can twist that. If that person is carrying the burden of what her mother teach her, then you can't twist that away, because at the end of the day, it is embedded in them. Mm-hmm. They have to be able to, it's like, you know, sometimes you have to be able to change that curse, that family curse. You know, like when I was growing up, I seen my father took me to the cookhouse, and I walked in the basement and I saw my father getting high, and it wasn't weed, but I didn't know what it was. And as I got older, I realized that was his thing. Mm-hmm. Look, I never did it at all. I never smoked weed, and I'm 54, and I've never done a drug other than whichever was prescribed to me. Mm-hmm. So I broke whatever curse was there. I got another brother that did it. and he loved them to death, and he took care of them.
Okay.
But not the good one. The good one, if I was on this same level of doing what he was doing, maybe he would have loved me more, maybe. But that's not me. I had other people that I followed, like my little brother. I followed him around. He didn't do that stuff. My grandfather, my father's father, he didn't teach me that way. So when the positive teachings that I got is different from maybe what my grandfather went through with my father, because from some of the shit I heard that my grandfather and my father went through, I still wouldn't want to go that route. You know, but with a woman can see their mother with so many men and they'll brush off into them. A woman can see their mother disrespect their father when he's not around. You just like your fucking father, you worthless piece of shit. And badmouth the daughter, and then as the daughter get older, it's a trickle down effect. Now, when you have children, you say, I'm not going to do that to my children. But when the heat of the battle comes in, you're saying that to your daughter. Because you don't know better. So now it's just a trickle down effect. I mean, we sit back we talking about I'm telling you why I would rather deal with why I like pets better than people. It's not that I love people and I love pets, but I can deal with a pet differently because there's a loyalty aspect. That pet needs me to survive. A human don't need me to survive. A human is capable of leaving you. A human being is capable of saying fuck you.
They're capable, but do they all do that?
Say that again?
They're capable of it, but do they all, like, so much of human behavior depends on how that person feels about themselves or what they've been taught. Because yes, we have the capacity.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
now we understand.
Yeah.
So it's not the teaching of me. If she's telling me what she wants, and I'm giving her what she wants, and I'm even giving her what she needs, there's still aspects of her upbringing that's triggering her to still act the way she acts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that upbringing part was taught and already embedded in her. Not from me. You know, like what was taught to me by my mom and me seeing how my mom dealt with men, my mom would go through a lot of shit with men. Like even one point when I was a kid, I seen my mom get pulled out the house by gunpoint by a man. Thank God brought her back home. But then you turn back around, she forgave him. So as I'm seeing things growing up, it's easy for me to forgive. Remember how earlier we was talking, you was like, I wish I had forgave Sugar Bear for that, all that stuff. So Sugar Bear disrespected me one time before. In the best conversations I had with Sugar Bear, I was talking to Sugar Bear up until he passed away. Up until he passed away. I called him down south. We busted up. I told him how much I cared about him, how much I loved him. He told me the whole story about what happened and how rapidly he had cancer. And when it happened, I cried like a baby. Because regardless of all that other shit, I was able to forgive him because that's what my mom installed in me. I forgive you. So even in my marriage, no matter what I go through, I'm always willing to forgive. Some people I just can't forgive because they did, like the situation with Denny. I can't forget that because he went too far. If it just stuck between me and you, that's different. But then you intertwine my people in it. It went too far. I can forgive a lot of shit, man. I forgave the person that stabbed me the fuck up. I even forgave the person that shot me, only for them to tell me, I don't fucking know you. You don't know me. Don't talk to me. And then he turned back around. He's locked up for double life for murdering the Chinese store owner and his girlfriend in Baltimore.
Well, all right, hold on. Now, speaking of forgiveness, animals seem to forgive. I mean, you can call it loyalty, you can call it whatever you want, but animals forgive their owners for a lot of things. Because you have some owners that abuse they animals or whatever, but the animals seem to still be down. They still remain loyal. They don't, they might not try to run away or retaliate or some shit like that. Sometimes they do though. And we have to decide or identify whether they like animals who attack their owners, are they doing so in self-defense, or are they doing so for some other reason? That's hard to know. But it's very rare that an animal will attack their owner if there's no mental problems or whatever going on, because sometimes animals do have
like this. Sometimes the
mental problems.
Like, let's hypothetically say, I'm not trying to cut you off, son.
Okay.
But let's just hypothetically say you got a snake. If you don't feed that snake, you do know at some point in time that snake is going to eat you, especially if you got a big ass snake. If you don't feed that pet, at some point in time, it's going to retaliate against you. But see, it's not just the fact that you can ask me when I take a pet over. Do I love like pets more than I can deal with humans? Society, like pets, society loves pets more than humans. Look at the news. I'm gonna give you a testimony, man. I told you about. I told you about the situation about my oldest daughter and the situation you went through, and I had to deal with that situation with this guy.
Right.
I called every news station to try to get her picture on TV because I couldn't find her for 4 days. Listen, not one would take her picture and put it on TV, but yet they would go on TV and show a dog that ran away or a cat that's missing. They treat society treats pets and dogs better than they can try to even treat a human being. When it comes to the abuse that pets get, you will see that shit on the news. But you know how many kids or elderly get abused that you will never see on the news?
Right. Well,
that's the shit. So, I mean, it's not just me, it's not just you sometimes, or it's society in general. But yet, if there's too many pets inside the place, they euthanize them. Think on it, man.
I mean, I'm not saying that animals don't get favor in the media, but I don't think it's anywhere near what human beings get. It's nowhere near. I mean, even though like news media outlets are trained to report heinous acts, dangerous acts, very matter of factly, what I mean, they still report them because it's important and they know people need to know. So even though they might be reporting the news, like in other news, a triple murder was committed in the such and such section of town tonight, and residents are reeling after this and blah 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 blah, and they're talking about it like some balloons just got let in the sky, like it's no big deal,
right?
But that's because they're trained to do that. But the point I'm trying to make is that you're going to see those news stories on the news every time they happen for the most part. And of course, there's a financial incentive involved with it, but also because they know it's a human interest story. The same way that they may report that a man or a woman had, I don't know, 30 dogs living in their residence, and they were causing all kinds of problems for the neighbors or whatever, you know what I mean? Or maybe there was a crime committed.
Or there was a dog found. There was 2 dogs found in the dumpster, and police are trying to find out if you know anything about these dogs. And I'm like, it's the same channel I just called 3 weeks ago, looking for my daughter, trying to find a way to put on TV.
So you've seen a commercial where they advertise a lost dog?
No, I've seen a TV show. I mean, I've seen the news.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've never seen that.
Yes.
Wow.
I've seen the news from CBS to NBC to ABC, where they would sit back and show this dog is missing. If you see this dog, please contact this. Yes, I've seen that shit.
Okay.
And I'm like, are these friends of the people at the news station? Because I called them so many times to try to get a picture of my daughter on TV. It was crazy. And so when I see that type of shit on TV, I'm like, damn, they must really love pets more than they love humans.
Well,
So, I mean, that's neither here or there, but my observation is that the loyalty of a pet, if you take care of it, it'll take care of you. If you respect it, it will respect you. It doesn't have an opinion. That pet does not have an opinion. That pet will not talk back to you unless it's a parrot. Motherfucker!
you know,
hungry.
yeah. You know what I used to say? I used to say this.
You got to teach it to say that.
I used to say, I used to say that if you feed an animal, that animal will come back around expecting to be fed every day.
Yeah.
You feed a starving human being, and then they'll come back the next day, find out where you hid all the other food and steal all of it. and unfortunately, it's fucking true. You know what I mean? Like, an animal is only going to come back and give you and eat the food that you give it. You feed a starving human being, as soon as they get strong, they're going to find out where you stored the food, and they're going to come and take all that shit. Like,
they can rob you.
Well, that's robbery.
One or the other.
That's robbery,
Yeah.
right
I'm
there.
not just talking about food. They're gonna try. If they can't find the food to get to the food, they're gonna get to you.
Well,
But the thing about it, if you ever see these shows where they feed a raccoon, and then the next day the raccoon come back with a bunch of friends and family.
no.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. You talking about raccoon? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I go on YouTube, and in my algorithms, I look at people taking care of pets, and I seen this one lady give crackers to a raccoon, and then the next day that raccoon came with 5 raccoons.
Yeah.
And she fed them 5, and then they came with 10 more, and she fed them. And here.
Yeah.
They find a baby raccoon that's not taken care of. Bring the baby raccoon in the house, feeding it bottles of milk and taking care of it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Hold on. We have a call on. We have another caller because we winding down, so we got to squeeze it in.
Already know. I know.
All right.
I know that.
So first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming through and checking out the Daily Go Get a Business Show. I really appreciate y'all. Please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We are talking about the reason that some people like animals more than they like people. If you'd like to call in this short time that we have, I invite you to call in, and the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. Press number 1. That will let me know you would like to speak, or you can just, if you call in, I'll already know. So caller with the last number is 9843. Welcome to the Daily Go Get 'Emism Show. What's on your mind this evening? Thanks for calling in.
Hi. Good morning, son. It's Cheryl.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, nothing much. I was listening to the show. We had a red Dobie. I thought we used to breed our Dobies, but we got another one.
Mm-hmm.
We love that dog so much, for, as opposed to, I can't say not me, like a dog more than a person, but
Mm-hmm.
he was such a loyal dog, He had, when we was in the room, with children, and, the baby boy had pulled his spectacles, and my oldest boy, his head was right by his head, and he turned around and he bit him all over his head. But now, he wasn't attacking. It just hurt him, And my husband, hit him and put him down twice. And the third time he came back up, he started showing his teeth and then growling. He said, "Get my gun." And so I was thinking, "Don't shoot him, please don't shoot him." And so this is just about him being loyal. And so I said, "Come here, friend, come here." And he just came and stood right by me and he shut his mouth. And while he just rushed the baby up to the hospital, and the kids told me what had happened. And so he called me when he got to the hospital, and I told him what had happened. And so when he got home, the dog just, he didn't look like a fat mode or anything. He had calmed down.
Mm-hmm.
But after I had told him what had happened, he sat on the couch and put the child down. But anyway, he just rubbed him and everything, and the dog would just sit there and he just listened, and he talked to him, apologized, and it was just over with, just like that. But he had, like I say,
Was the baby okay?
Excuse me?
Was the baby okay? The child okay?
Well, he had bites all over his head, but he was okay. He was okay. He had all the rabies shots and everything. He was a dog that we kept in the house. But now, for instance, being clean and everything, he was a well-trained dog. And he loved the children. He was very protective. He's a dog, let's say, when he was at work at night, he would get up and patrol the house and come back to get on the foot of my bed. He would, but as far as, like I said, he's very, very loyal. Very loyal. And we loved him so much, and somebody tried to poison him one time. We couldn't figure out what it was.
90 seconds.
A bunch of food somewhere, and it was unusual for him to eat because he always had food at home. One point, we took him to the vet because we knew something was wrong. And so then we left him overnight, and the doctor found out that what it was, somebody had mixed some tablecloth in the food. And
60 seconds.
Once he passed it, he was okay. But he said basically it looked like somebody was trying to poison him or kill him or whatever. And I couldn't understand it because he was a good dog, He was a very good dog. And he took care of kids. I loved him so much. We all did. And like the ones in the backyard, the boy and the girl that were bleeding, no, I would not have them around my children. They could not go in the backyard with them. Only Henry could see them, because I felt like, well, I mean, they were good dogs too. We loved them all, but it was just something different about Prince. He was totally red. And we didn't even, I mean, his friend brought him to us. He just opened his back door, coming down the street, and the dog just jumped in the car. And he brought him to us. And as soon as he brought him to us, the kids started petting him and, hugging him. And from that day on, we didn't raise him for my baby. But from that day on, he was just, we fell in love with him. And like I said, when we got his shot, and I don't know if he had already had him, he put his tags on and everything. But everybody in the neighborhood knew him. This is the one that I told you about. He left and twice, and he came home and he was just making one another dog. The boys followed him and watched where he went, and so he stayed a couple of days, and he done that twice, and then he came home. But he was, like I said, when my husband put him down twice, and the third time he got up, he was in attack mode. He couldn't understand what was going on. But with the baby pinching his testicles, he was just, it hurt. That's all it was.
Yeah.
It hurt. But I was thinking, because at first I thought the same way Henry did, and I'm like, okay. But then when I said, come here, friend, and he just came and stood right by me, and then I was like, what happened? Why did you do that? Why did and say for instance, it's kind of hard to imagine, but my son's head was right by it, and he just turned around and opened his mouth, bite, and so he bit my child over the head. But anyway, I was thinking that it was going to be a problem, when he got back. But no, he just walked up to him and let him pet him and hug him and everything. Mm-hmm. And he forgave him. But it was really, really strange to see that, But like I said, we loved him so much. And he was a good dog. Mm-hmm. I remember one night I turned my back and I was cooking him his dinner, and it was some steak. He grabbed them steaks so quick. I say what happened so quick because I turned my back on him, and turned around. But it was in all, he was a very good dog and very, very loyal, very loyal. Mm-hmm. But I know that you were saying you like dogs more than you do human beings. Well, this particular dog, I did like him more than I did one of his friends. Mm-hmm. And true, I did, As the kids did too. Yeah. He had a friend that would come around, but he was just weird, Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And it brought memories back to me. As a matter of fact, I wish I had it here right now, sitting on the foot of my bed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know, right to this day, I don't know we don't know what happened to it. Mm-hmm. It just up and disappeared. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it was hard to deal with, because this time, like I said, he didn't come back. And we were going all over the neighborhood. Everybody in the neighborhood knew him. And it was like, no. Say for instance, I go around the corner to one of my sister's house. He knew how to come around there. The other sisters knew how to come around their house. But it was just real weird. And right to this day, I don't know what happened to my dog. Yeah. So I don't know if somebody finally got him and, done him in or what. But, yeah. And like far as get rid of people, I was just like, it was just real strange. Yeah. But he had his tags on. But anyway, in talking about it, you know, I just listened to the show and he brought it back to me.
All right.
But, yeah. But anyway, I'll catch you before you go off and have a good evening, okay?
All right. You have a good night, too. I appreciate you calling in, as usual.
Okay. All right. Y'all take care. God bless.
All right. The clock has struck 4. Y'all know what it is. Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. Y'all all are great. Great. But the time has come and we are out of here. So thanks for calling Troy, Cheryl, and any let's see. I don't think we got the names of anybody else. Stacy. Thanks for everybody for calling in. Appreciate y'all. I see y'all tomorrow, same time, same bat time, same bat channel, 2 a.m. We'll be right back, all up in it. Holla. Okay. So do these birthday shout outs. And that's going to do it. All right. So we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious November 13th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number 1 out the box. Lynn B.G. Brown, Brown. Happy birthday to you. And also, come on, man. Don't give me a hard time. Okay, that B.E. Bricks McIntyre, no relation. But what up, cuz? Happy birthday to you. And also Marcella Warfield. Happy birthday to you. And Bryant Shabazz Lewis. And my girl Aziza Streeter. And last but not least, my girl going all the way back to the 1986 and 87, Martina Woodward. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious November 13th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on to do the damn to rock out. Rock on to do the damn rock out. Rock on to do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, some people like the animals better than the human beings because they be seeing the flaws in the people that you meet and be like that. Sometimes you got to give them a treat. Just like you give a treat to a dog or cat, sometimes you got to do the same things to the cat, the dog, the people, through the fog. You can see them and wouldn't want to be them. But I know that anybody can be conditioned if you can just get them to listen. And sometimes getting them to listen is hard. But you got to do the same thing if you really want it, God. You understand where I'm coming from and where I'm going. You are the all-seeing, sometimes the all-knowing. But you don't know everything about somebody else. So sometimes you got to ask them. So you go for self. Do you really want to be there? Do you really want to do things here, see there? I don't know. It's up to you. The choice is yours. You want to do this thing. I'm going to tell y'all something. Dealing with animals instead of dealing with people is something that I can understand to a certain degree. But it's also something like a cop-out, something like a sellout. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with liking animals more than you like people, but if you're going to deal with animals strictly more than you deal with people, Yeah, I mean, because we're taking it to too many different facets of life. You're talking about your family, you may be talking about your children, or the decision not to have children based on your inability to be able to connect with others and be able to build with them, or just be able to come to some kind of different or some kind of agreement where both of y'all are both benefiting in some kind of way. But hey, the choice is yours. One thing about being a human being is that you have autonomy, so you can make different choices, vast choices about who you deal with and how you deal with them. Ultimately, we should be striving to find peace, tranquility, comfortability, safety. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night with another Daily Go Getimism show. So make sure y'all come through 2 a.m. in the morning. You know how we do it late night, but it's great, right? All right. Blog Talk, let me get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. But hold on, let me take off the uniform. Take yours off of y'all. Y'all can clock out. Everything's gonna be all right. I want to thank all y'all for coming through without a doubt. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we will be back and we will be in motion and everything will be great. And that there is something that I can guarantee. So y'all have a good night. Be safe. Or if it's early enough for you to be starting your day, have a great day. Peace.